Former Bonanno crime family associate Hector Pagan missed his star turn on his ex-wife's reality TV show when he decided to turn government informant in 2011. His brief television career flamed out when Gangland revealed he had worn a government wire, snitching out his mob capo father-in-law among many others. This made him ineligible for what was to have been a prominent role on that year's upcoming season of Mob Wives, the inexplicably wildly popular show starring Renee Graziano, the former Mrs. Hector Pagan, and a host of other mob-tied lovelies. So it's too bad for Pagan, now that he's about to be a true star witness in Brooklyn federal court, that there won't be any TV cameras there to record him as he relates what are sure to be riveting tales of crime. In trial slated to begin March 4 before Brooklyn federal judge John Gleason, Pagan will take the stand for the first time. He'll be testifying for the government against two former gangster pals who are charged with the July 2, 2010 robbery and murder of a traveling check casher who doubled as a mob money launderer. What will be most fascinating will be the part when he gets to the murder. That's because the shooter that day was Hector Pagan. The story he'll tell, if he sticks to the script as laid out in government court documents, will be one any TV producer would jump to put on tape. He'll tell how he and a trio of fellow members of a robbery and drug-dealing crew stalked their victim, learning his schedule and movements. He'll tell how they wore baseball caps and sunglasses to help disguise their identities. He'll tell how they sat in a pair of cars in a supermarket parking lot for hours, smoking cigarettes, watching the auto body shop down the block in Gravesend, Brooklyn, waiting for their victim to show. Then he'll tell how, when their target drove up at 2:13 in the summer afternoon, they pounced. How one auto blocked the victim's exit, while Pagan and one of his friends, guns in hand, ordered the man out of his car. He'll tell how they grappled as he resisted. And then Pagan will tell how the victim spun out of their grasp, tried to run away, and got shot. Who shot him? Well, that'll be the good part of the testimony. The first few times Pagan was asked that question by law enforcement officers, he fudged. Maybe someone else shot him, he suggested. He eventually saw the wisdom of agreeing to spill what he knew in exchange for what he hopes will be a get-out-of-jail card and told the truth about what happened that day. Which was that as the check casher, a man named James Donovan, was trying to get away, Hector Pagan shot him, striking Donovan in the thigh. He'll tell how he and his cohorts then grabbed what they were after, a black bag with $90,000 in cash and $60,000 in checks, and fled. Some other official witness will have to fill in the jury on what happened next, how an ambulance sped Donovan to Lutheran Hospital where it was too late. Pagan's bullet had severed the femoral artery in Donovan's leg. He bled to death. It'll be interesting to hear how Pagan explains what made him shoot. The goal, presumably, was to grab that bag of cash and, according to the official version of events, Donovan was concentrating more on staying alive than protecting his loot. But criminal law holds that, if someone gets killed in the course of a robbery, all the robbers are as guilty of murder as the one who pulls the trigger. So all prosecutors really need is for Pagan to convince jurors that two former pals, who are alleged to be the surviving members of that day's crew, were with him when he fired the fatal bullet into James Donovan. One of them, Richard Riccardi, is alleged to have come up with the idea for the score. Riccardi had spent time hanging around Gravesend Auto on West 3rd Street near Avenue Y, one of Donovan's regular stops on his check-cashing route. Prosecutors claim that Riccardi supplied the guns used in the robbery, and had pulled earlier jobs with the same gang. When authorities executed a search warrant on Riccardi's Staten Island home and car, they found a pair of pistols, ballistic body armor, and the kind of tools a salesman who sold marijuana in bulk might need. Riccardi's co-defendant is a tub-shaped would-be wise guy with a lengthy rap sheet named Luigi Grasso, who also goes by the name Ronnie Petrino. Surveillance photos by city police detectives who broke the case revealed that Grasso has managed to stencil his ample girth with a tattoo reading, Brooklyn. Search warrants on the Grasso-Petrino home in New Jersey, which may be tattooed elsewhere, uncovered more guns, ammo, and a copy of Firepower magazine captures the lifestyle that is firearms. They also found a walkie-talkie, a pair of black masks, a wig and a false mustache. A separate search warrant for phone traffic between Grasso and Riccardi revealed the men joking cleverly about their business. If he needed money, Riccardi texted Grasso, he could rob a bank lol JK. Grasso responded, lol I am retired laughing face. The fourth alleged member of the robbery team displayed a similar level of smarts. The late Nunzio, Nicky DiCarlo, is listed in court documents as a Gambino crime family soldier, although when he was convicted of racketeering in 1987 and sent to prison for 18 years he was running with the drug-dealing crew of Colombo family soldier Greg Scarpa Jr. Whoever gave him his button had to have regretted it. A junkie, DiCarlo died 3 months after the robbery of a heroin overdose at the age of 46. Pagan's version of events is that he met Riccardi, Grasso and DiCarlo in the spring of 2010 while providing protection for the owner of a Staten Island sports club. The four men bonded over their mutual interest in robberies and drug dealing. They started plotting crimes, including a successful crash and grab heist of $30,000 from a fellow pot dealer just weeks before the Donovan robbery. Cross-examination of the star witness may well be even more interesting than his direct testimony. The lawyers who will ask Pagan to expand on his life and career choices are Robert Soloway, representing Grasso, and Susan Kelman, representing Riccardi. Kelman is on a big roll in Brooklyn federal court. In November, she won an acquittal for Colombo family consigliere Joe Waverly Cacus on charges he ordered the killing of a New York City cop. That followed 3 earlier not guilty verdicts, including an extortion case and a narcotics indictment. Kelman said she is eager to meet Pagan. The case of my client hinges on the word of, well, I don't know what to call him, she said. A drug-addicted movie star. Former Bonanno crime family associate Hector Pagan missed his star turn